If you're looking for a half-ton towable bunkhouse for your family to go out the first time, there are a few options I think that really fit that description better than this one. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Bish's RV, and for lunch, I had a haircut, and not much else. But neither here nor there. What we're looking at today is the J-Flight 242 BHS. This is a rank and file tried and true floor plan. The way this is laid out, there's nothing special about that. It's the little death by 1,000 kind of cuts, the way that Jayco does this, and they have this outfitted here, that I think this is really a standout product in a class that is really filled with me too, same. So what kind of things make me say that? Well, one of the first things is the peace of mind, where this thing comes with basically double the warranty of almost anybody else in this class. It has the same construction as the big J flights. It just has less rigmarole, razzmatazz, shiny shoes, and fancy pants. But it hits all the major notes. One of the things I think is really awesome, it's completely carpetless. And the SLX series that we're looking at here today is also ventless flooring. So this is a 1-2 easy cleaning punch, which is fantastic. It's got bunks rated for 600 pounds, so it's good for more than just little kids. Big teenagers can fit on there. Or, frankly, if you've got adult friends or family that might be coming, like Uncle Gary, if he's put on a little weight, could fit in this thing here. A taller ceiling, a big shower. There's a lot of really good qualities that go into this one. Now, it's got a couple little hiccups, like it does have a Camp Queen bed. Those are the kind of things I'm going to point out as we go. I like to show you the good, the bad, the ugly with everything in between. But maybe you're not as tall as me, or maybe you're a side sleeper and you sleep in the fetal position and that short bed doesn't matter. Like, that works for me. I sleep in an SLX on a short bed myself. I do just fine, but everybody has a little different thing they're looking for, and that's what I want to make sure you get to see here. So let's get going, and if you appreciate the fair way we're showing you this stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get going. I'm kind of stuck here. Now, I highly encourage and ask you folks, let me know, what you think is the good and the bad and everything else with this. And there's a lot of regulars on our channel, and I really love you folks, like Mr. Steve Z. I really appreciate you. You visit me all the time. And I'm pretty sure he's going to look at this one and say something like, oh, great, another one of these generic family campers with nowhere to sit inside except an uncomfortable dinette. And short answer to that is yes, they are still popular, so manufacturers are going to keep making them. So, that's the thing, though. Every RV's good for a different person. Like, what does this one bring? And one of the first things it brings here is central air to help keep you a little more comfortable. And every single one of these vents is both vented and louvered. So, like, I'm a friggin' human heat box. I want that air blowing right on me. Like, in my car, I have all the dash vents blowing on me. If somebody else rides in my car, I'm like, don't touch them, I'll sweat. But my wife, not so much. So, that's not her thing. Now, if you just get to your destination and you really need to cool the camper off, one of the things you can do here is you can flip the little cold air dump. You see how those little vents open? That will drop more of the air right here in the living cabin, cool the kids down, give you some time to set the camper up, and buy a little peace of mind time, you know what I mean? A larger 15,000 BTU air is available in this, by the way. And did you notice, like I said, no floor vents, completely carpetless. This is about as easy cleaning as something like this is going to get. Now, carpetless like this, that's something that you often tend to find only in something's more upper echelon products, although I am beginning to see it really penetrate the market more deeply like this, which I think is very, very cool, A lot of people just want to get rid of the carpet as much as they can. Now, notice there's that handy set of household outlets right there, but if we look our way down, you also see how this is a big sleeper U-dinette. So as if the double bunks weren't enough, you also have hopefully I remember to actually put some measurements on the screen down there. It's about a 7-foot long sleeper. I think it's like 42 inches deep or something like that. But again, hopefully if I remember to put something on screen, that will give you the correct answer there. Now, lights and windows are two of the most expensive things in travel trailers. So when a manufacturer takes the time to put an aggressive lighting package in here and actually wires them all up to one switch, but still gives you the ability to turn them on and off individually, that is one of the indications as to why this one might cost a couple bucks more than brand X. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with the other trailers. Some people go, I don't need all that. I don't need all those lights. Give me something with less lights that'll save me a few bucks. Cool. Totally respect it. We definitely have that. You've got a choice between two decors in here. Today we're looking at that lighter farmhouse decor, but I know that that jelly ain't everybody's jam. Although in this floor plan, there's not like an area where the kitchen and the entertainment center overlap, so it's not like you see too many colors mixed together. You do also have the cottage decor available, which is basically just brown on brown, very traditional. So you have a choice between cottage and farmhouse, traditional or modern, whichever your pick tends to be. You can get it both ways in here. We will come back to the kitchen in a little bit, but real quick, I do want to make mention as we roll over to the bunks, you have a choice between two refrigerators. The standard in this is a 6 cubic foot gas electric two-way. What we're looking at here is a larger 8 cubic foot 12 volt compressor fridge. So this is faster cooling. It'll do a little bit better in hot climates. It's got a larger capacity. It's totally travel safe. But if you're going to be boondocking, it does use more power than the propane side of a two-way, which is why different fridges are still offered here. So, you know, we can get you one either way, and a lot of times I've noticed our Western stores tend to bring things in with a lot of the two-way fridges, whereas in the Midwest here, it's like almost 12 volt exclusively. 600-pound rated bunks, by the way. I'm trying to do a better job of making sure I share that information with folks, and thank you for those suggestions. Somebody else said, I want to see around inside the bunk spaces a little bit more. Let me see if there's outlets. Let me see if there's things like separate curtains for the upper and lower bunks. So, thank you for the suggestion. As you see, I'm doing my best to make that happen here. Real quick note, the bottom window does open for airflow. The top window does not. And I want to point that out because I don't believe in lying by omission. With that shade from the factory pulled halfway across, it almost looks like it is supposed to open for airflow, but I'm not going to try to smoke screen you on something like that, you know. Where do we want to go next? What do you say we go to the bathroom? But real quick, let's have a little Ask Josh. Why do so many manufacturers leave a gap at the top of that bathroom door? Now, I've heard a couple different explanations for this from different people over the years. The most consistent answer I've heard from manufacturers is depending on the type of AC system and ducting they use, they need to allow for some air exchange interchange to allow the air system to flow and cycle properly. I'm not an HVAC expert. I don't know if that's true or not. I just know that's what I've been advised. I'm sharing that with you. If somebody is an HVAC expert, does that make sense, or is that a load of bunk? Anyway, what I think is probably closer to the real answer, if we're going to be real candid about this, factories move quickly. I don't know that they always have time to exactly place every door exactly how they want, when they want. So I think what they do is they come up with a system that allows the workers a couple inches of leeway up or down so that they can slap that door in. The door is still going to work just fine. And, you know, no harm, no foul. Now that, I could be totally wrong about that. That's kind of just a guess that I have. But sometimes people will say, yeah, but what if somebody peeks over the top of this? I don't care if you're climbing up on the bunks. I don't think anybody's really seeing over the top of that thing, and at least they're not seeing anything worth seeing. You know, they might see the top of your head if they're lucky. There are some concerns that some people have, though. Yeah, but what about the smell factor coming back out of that door? Well, to that I say, easy fix. So, by default, this comes with what I lovingly refer to as the 4-inch fart fan. Only the tiny fan up here in the vent. The good news, it's already got the fan, it's already got the wiring, it's already got the housing. So something like a Heng's Vortex fan, a high-velocity exhaust fan, it's such an easy upgrade. If that's the only thing that you dislike about this, if that's your only hang-up, call us. We got guys with screwdrivers, we can fix that. Now remember I said it's taller in here, so you have a taller shower. Notice that my head's not even in the skylight. I'm totally within the ceiling cavity of that. But remember when I said this thing has a huge shower? Let me get that curtain out of the way. Let me run you down here real slow. I'm kind of curious to the measurements on this thing. It's massive. It's like, I don't know, 3 foot by 3 foot. It's a giant square shower. Way bigger than you tend to get out of most bunkhouses, and it's a big shower, not a tub, so it's easier to step in, you know, whether it's little kids, older folks, whatever works. And there's excellent room around that thing because it's a curtain next to you, not a shower wall. And a lot of trailers have like that little box for plumbing and stuff to run right there. Jayco doesn't do that. So the legroom in this, even for a tall person like me, was excellent. Now let's look at some storage and some kitchen stuff. As we step back out here, take a look at our, this could be pantry, this could be dresser. I almost think it needs like an extra 2 shelves because it's so darn large, you know. But all the way down to the ceiling, from the ceiling to the floor, this thing's got some storage. I don't know. I am. You know, I've got rhythm, but I don't have flow. That's a problem that I have. What is that silver thing in there? That looks like almost like a cover to a furnace. Huh. Well, I'm going to have to make sure I alert our service team to that, so that's not something that's urgent. This RV is fresh off the apple cart, Mary. Now, notice how I've taken the table out of there. So if you're going to be stuck inside on a rainy day, you could kind of use that like a lounge. Obviously, you've got the little floor pedestal mounts, but since this is a floor flush slide, personally, I'd take those out and I'd convert this over to a free floating table. Those little folding legs are not terribly expensive. That's just something that I'm really a big fan of. Talk about it all the time. Kind of like the Hangs fans. I'm just, personally, those are things that work well for me. There is storage all the way under the dinette. You're going to have to lift the back side here. You know, do you even lift, bro? You know, that's what I want to ask that dinette. But anyway, shoe garage by the door so you can keep the clutter cut down. And below and above the entertainment center, got a little pantry storage. Notice how we've got hard closing doors for the bedroom. So, you know, whether you just prefer to have that like enclosed privacy, or I don't know, maybe you're aggressively folding laundry or something like that. You want to have that extra privacy, you got it there. I don't think this is a model really well suited to watching TV, but that works fine for me. For me, who this camper is for me is someone who's like, okay, you know what? I want a solid trailer. Like, I like how it's got the pocket screwed cabinets, the plywood roof and floor, the nicer countertop over here. It's got good storage. I need all these things for my family. I want to slide out for enough rainy day space, but, you know, we're not going to be living inside this thing necessarily. That's where I think this is good for. People who are going to spend most of your time outside, but you need like an escape from the sun, maybe? That's where this one comes in, guys. I don't know that you're going to glean much more from it, but I don't know that I've also given you a good look at the kitchen from, you know, this angle all closed up. So just to kind of complete the visual, you know, just enough of an oven, by the way, you know, to, if you hit a pigeon on the way through, you can get some cookies and biscuits, whatever, close that up. Let's roll on through here. As long as we were kind of talking about storage, I figured we'd go ahead and knock out the bedroom space here. Notice how, you know, they're using gas struts to lift the bed up here. In this price point, in this class, that's something that you typically do not find. Now, an interesting thing they're doing here is notice how that right there is a hanging closet. But that right there is dresser space, because you don't really have good spot for other dresser storage. They sort of split the difference here. Now, I'd love to hear from you folks a little bit. I've seen a lot of really awesome like DIY solutions, and one of the more popular ones seems to be get something like some little, oh gosh, not totes. What's the word I'm looking for? The little containers. Oh my Lord, my brain totally failed. I don't know, little storage boxes people put up on that shelf right there, and as opposed to having it just as an open shelf. Obviously, I can't think of the word, and obviously I don't edit my videos down. You know, I'm an idiot and I let it roll. Now, new for 22. These are all prepped and ready for roof solar instead of just a side solar plug. That's the black sticker on the right. Then over here on the left, that is a TV mount, which in the bedroom is kind of a weird place for it. But there's a matching key block mount outside, so that if you want to have like an indoor-outdoor TV setup, you could do that. There are also, by the way, swing arm mounts that go on those key blocks, so that if you do want to have a TV that can pivot and articulate around, there's a few different ways that you could, I almost said skin that duck. What? And with the slide closed here for road mode, we see excellent access to the trailer. Now, here's a couple little pro tips for you. I don't really do a good enough job, I think, pointing this out. When you're traveling with a post-style dinette, it is highly recommended you put it down in the sleeper position. It's far, far less likely to jiggle, bang around, and smash up your cabinetry. Similarly, first of all, I wanted to show you what the shades look like, even when they're backlit. And with the tinted windows from the outside, that will totally... You have full privacy inside with these. Does a little light bleed through? Sure. But what I want to get at is when you're traveling, you should have pleated shades pulled down like that. The reason being, if you hit some really bad chuck holes, which an RV going down the road is a rolling earthquake, and that was chuck holes, not chuckles. I realize that kind of sounded in between. I really wonder how the YouTube auto-generated subtitles read that. But they could come down and slide down just a little bit sideways, basically. And if they come down too crooked, it can stress that string and fray stuff and break it up. Now, as you can see, we are bunktacular in our storage or road mode access. We can get to the bathroom, we can get to the pantry, and apparently somebody can get to my battery up front and pull it off, not realizing I'm in here recording. So seems like a perfect time to power it back up and step outside. Now, one of the first things I want to hit on out here, you can see how the windows are UV tinted, which is nice. It's going to keep a lot of sunshine. And again, when we draw those shades, the nosy neighbors can't really see inside here. Now, we're a little bit close for me to get you a nice rear corner shot. So I'm going to kind of work my way around a little differently today. But this also gives us a nice opportunity to zoom in on the fact that we've got both a black tank flush and an outside shower here. Both of these are boring things to talk about, but these are both standout features that you don't always find in this budget range or in this class. Now, as we back up and work our way around here, you might notice you don't really see the little thing where it says like slide awning prepped. I don't see any reason why you couldn't still apply slide awnings to these. I've certainly seen it done quite a bit over the years. But what I really wanted to show you over here, because not every RV gives you a full true pass-through, nor do the brands that do give you pass-through give you the big baggage door on both sides like this. So sliding our way back here, couple things I actually want to show you in this area. It's cool to me that they put this little protective trim ring around this opening, because in the mornings you're going to be chasing waterfalls down this baggage door if it's been, drizzling at all at night, and you don't want to get water on that, wood framing. Now, a little bit of water is not going to kill it, but it could kind of stain it over time. And this is it's just another tiny little thing they're doing. Like the fact that every single lock on this, you're gonna have one key to rule all of the keys. It's like the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, but it's one key. Told you I'm a nerd. Anyway, so you're not gonna have to walk around like I do with different keys for every single trailer. You're gonna have two keys for your entire trailer, and one is a copy of the other. We're magnet holdbacks, we're protected hinges, and we are prepped and ready for both rear and side observation cameras. So you can have a full in-motion observation suite on this where you can check what's going along beside you. What's also cool for towing safety, this, the most basic trailer Jayco makes, still has their J-Smart protective safety lighting system. Sorry, my brain just totally died for a minute there. But basically, I think it's like called signals, markers, and reverse travel or something like that. Smart. But what it's going to do is when you flip on, let's say, your right-hand turn signal, that marker light, all the marker lights on the side of the trailer are going to blink with your turn signals like a semi-trailer, but RVs aren't required to do that. Now, in case you're curious, they do run two power wires. So the camera and the blinker have their own separate power sources, so the camera is not going to flash in and out. That's something that someone has asked me before, and I thought I'd point that out. This would normally have the metallic fold-out steps. You can see that we've optioned on the stable steps for more ride today. But if those, I know some people don't like those. You don't necessarily have to have them, so keep that in mind there as well. We have a very exceptional quality on this we'll talk about in a minute, but a plywood roof instead of an OSB roof, as well as a plywood floor. In the bedroom, remember that TV bracket we looked at? That's the exact same key block mount there if you want to bring it outside. And here's another towing safety thing. There's not a lot of trailers in this class that are standard Goodyear radials. Now, if I remember, a East to West Delaterra has recently, they started with them as a, quote, forced option due to availability, but they saw such positive response from them, they said, hey, you know what? We'll just stick with the Goodyear. So I believe they are using Goodyears now. Through the 21 and 22 camping model year season, due to shortage on import tires, there actually have been a number of brands that were using Goodyears out of necessity, but a lot of them are going back to non-Goodyear tires as the year rolls on. So definitely shop that. Now, it seems a little funny. The sink is inside the compartment right here, but you can reach in here, no problem. And I'm standing pretty far away when I do that right there, so it's not hard to reach. Is it my favorite? Would I actually prefer a slide open camp kitchen, but you know what? At least it has a sink and not a dog dish, and at least it goes into a real drain. They've unfortunately had to part ways with their partnership with Blackstone because Blackstone literally could not sending up griddles to Jayco. It was like, yeah, that was a good idea, but sorry, I guess our eyes were, you know, bigger than our stomach at the buffet. Little mini fridge outside. So between the two fridges, you've got anywhere from, oh, what do I want to say, about 8 to 10, 11-ish cubic foot of total cold storage. And this is a really good sign. I've been seeing a lot of shortage issues being resolved in the marketplace recently. And you notice how those optional and once not available, but now available again ladders are starting to show back up here. I am happy to see it. Now, I'm not quite as happy to see it as my dog is happy to see me when I come home. But frankly, folks, if you come home and your dog's not like, then you're doing something wrong. You know, your dog should totally spaz out when you come home. I don't know. Something about the ancient man-wolf dog accord. Kind of like my dog deserves the last little piece of any late night snack I get. You know, it's just, it's an agreement that we have. Sorry, I'm way off topic. Plywood roofing, Jayco's Magnum Truss Roofing. This thing is rated for more weight than anybody else in this class. And you see that little black plug all the way up by the nose? That is a solar prep plug. This is one of the very few things in an entry-level class that is actually prepped and ready for roof solar. Man, my brain, I don't know what my deal is. I just keep losing it halfway through the deal here. This really fell apart. So if you're liking what you see here and you're like, well, how much is this thing gonna set me back? Check the link in the video description. Because we can have these located at different dealerships, different distances from Jayco, shipping costs can be different. And out west where these are built, you may find the Rocky Mountain Edition, which is slightly different from this. I've kind of touched on that a few times as we went here. So, you know, the 242 that we have at any given store may be a little bit different from another one, and that will always show you your closest bishes, what they're asking for that trailer, and anything else, leave me some comments, let me know, and I'll do my best to fill in the blanks. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and best wishes from Bishes, everyone. Ooh, that cold breeze is chilly on the old head.